JavaScript that is interpreted, you don't need to compile it anymore. So what you need to do is you just need to write the code and you are keeping somewhere telling to the browser. So browser will understand without any compilation. But here is the main part is coming. So that main part is the V8 engine. Hello guys, welcome you all to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about the important topic, that is how this JavaScript engine work and why we are saying JavaScript and what is the use of this JavaScript, and we are discuss with JavaScript engines and what is inside, and we are writing a code how that will be reading and interact with the browsers. So these things we are going to look in this video. Okay, let's discuss about in depth and why we are using JavaScript. So basically you need to understand first, JavaScript is client-side scripting language. So previously that how we call, so after that there's got a lot of improvement happened. So now JavaScript programming is support for running client-side client scripting language, plus we are using for server-side also. So client-side mean, what is client-side mean? If you take a website, you are interacting with some animation. Let's say you have a click event and you are using JavaScript for animations. Those are the things you are doing for using this JavaScript. But if you take like you got your, let's say if you are taking to a server side, so server side mean you are using for backend implementation. Let's say for example, you are developing something with a PHP, that is a backend, so integration with the front end. Likewise, you can develop the backend with JavaScript also. So for there's a lot of framework for that. So let's say for example we have Next.js, Express.js. Likewise, there's a lot of framework there. You can implement or you can develop a backend with those frameworks. So that is what is the introduction about JavaScript. And JavaScript is an interpreted language. You may know sometimes you know that is there's a term called interpreter, but you don't know what is this interpreter doing mean. So basically if you take any programming language, let's say it's a Java or something else, there's a lot of programs. Those programs you need to compile it, right? You need to interpret every programming having interpreter and compilations. So if you take a Java you cannot Java is not directly understand, so machine is not understand what you are going to tell. So let's say for example you are telling computer to open or display some images, so you are writing code for that. But if you give it to computer, it is not going to understand, because computer is only understand 0 1 binary codes. So it's like octet, but 0 to 1 binaries. So if you are taking that, so if you want to understand the machine, then if the running code you are writing a code that machine cannot understand it. That purpose we need to compile it to low level, like a 0 1 binaries. So that is the reason the compiler is coming. So if you take a Java, so yeah, you are writing a programming and you need to compile, then only computer can understand. But if you take right now the JavaScript that is interpreted, you don't need to compile it anymore. So what you need to do is you just need to write the code and you are keeping somewhere telling to the browser. So browser will understand without any compilation. But here is the main part is coming. So that main part is the V8 engine. Maybe you know that, or maybe sometimes you don't know. The Chrome browser is developed with V8 engine. So why this JavaScript engine? So previously there's a bunch of engines coming that we named called ECMAScript engine. So maybe you will heard these words, Karakan, Chakra, and what you call spider monkey. These terms sometimes you may heard in some videos or somewhere you heard these terms or words. So this is what we call engines, JavaScript engine. So behind the scenes you are giving the code that is you are sending to browser. The browser is understand that, and it will displaying whatever things you are written in the code. So that is where the V8 engine is let's say V8 engine is developed by Google. So why they will be previously I told you these are the engines they have at that time. So these are developed with the low level languages. So why this V8 engine come to the picture is let's say Google developed the map, right? So that map having lot of power. Map needs some lot of power because let's say map having the interactions and zoom in, zoom out, and those are the things very slow with the previous JavaScript engines. So that reason they decide to develop the engine called V8 engine, V8 JavaScript engine. So if you take this V8 JavaScript engine, Wikipedia, you can see here it is developed by Google. It's a Google project. The V8 engine is released on September 2008. So they developed for that because very slow. Previous JavaScript engines are very slow. That is the reason they developed this V8 engine. So this Chrome is currently using this V8 engine. That is why this is very powerful and speed JavaScript. So that is the reason, right? And also runtime is Node.js and Dino. There's V8 .NET, everything are used. Especially they developed this with C++. So everyone can write a JavaScript engine, but that is not in a standard way, right? So right now the Chrome is running with V8 engine. So if you take a V8 engine, inside that let's say we need to run a JavaScript. So JavaScript have an interpreter. So interpreter mean reading one by one. Let's say for example I will show the code where I can running. Yeah, here you can see this is just a function with the print hello. So what this interpreter is doing is we giving instructors, right? So this is saying this is a function print hello and read the line, the console log is there, and after that this interpreter understand this is a function and they are calling. So what this when we passing this JavaScript order to the browser, what interpreter doing is just doing or abstracting. It's structuring to tree. So you may hear about sometime DOM is a tree, is have a node, 70. These are things you may heard about, right? So that is how something we give this. If we give this JavaScript file to the browser, so browser is doing like this. Let me show you. That is pass and abstract the functions. Let's say this is a good example of visually representing. So ASTExplorer.net, this is a site you can visit. So here you can see let tips, that is an array, and I'm writing a function, and tips.forEach looping and displaying. So this is what a normal simple JavaScript. So here you can see, once you click here, you can see here this is a tree. This is how this abstract tree is happen. Whatever the code you are writing, so it is abstract your code and make it a tree view or JSONs. So here if you see a JSON, you can see body is there, type, variable declaration, and these are the things what doing inside this interpretation. Interpreter is doing this, and the interpreter is doing this abstraction, plus V8 engine will be doing automatically and understand what you are doing here. So it will automatically happen inside the V8 engine. So that is how this V8 engine will be work. So yeah, that's all about this V8 engine. If you take okay, I already told you these JavaScript engines are can written by anyone, but who is create this JavaScript engine first is Brandon Ike. Maybe you will heard that word. There's a person called Brandon Ike. He is the one who developed the first JavaScript engine. So that is for Mozilla. So that JavaScript engine name is SpiderMonkey. So let me show you that SpiderMonkey. Here you can see SpiderMonkey. SpiderMonkey is the first JavaScript engine written by Brandon Ike at Netscape. So later released open source and currently maintained by Mozilla Foundation. It is used in Firefox web browser. They are still the Mozilla Firefox is still using this SpiderMonkey JavaScript engine. So that is all about this JavaScript engine, and one thing I need to show you. So this is the small chart. So I told you Chrome is developed with the V8 engine and runtime is Node.js they're using. So the language they used to develop is C++. So here you can see our JS source code is there. It is passing to this Chrome V8 engine. So inside the V8 engine, so this passing things are happening inside the V8 engine. We not seeing those process. This is behind the scene, these are happening. So V8 engine is taking, and first thing is passing that, and AST tree, it will convert it to abstract syntax tree, and after that abstract syntax tree is converted to bytecode. And once that bytecode is converted, then it is converted to machine code, and machine code running on CPU. So that is how the computer can understand. So I already show you this abstract syntax tree. This is just a function you are writing in your JavaScript file, and after that you are giving to V8 engine. V8 engine, inside the V8 engine, this is how those are getting structured, the code getting structured one by line, giving instructor. So that once it done, it is converted to bytecode, right? Bytecode, after that machine code, and after that run it in on your CPU. So if you take understand of this how this bytecode and machine code, this is a good example. So here you can see high level language JavaScript, just one variable and assigning with object plus incrementing something, right? Bytecode, this is how the bytecode looks like, and it is really not understand. We can't understand those things. So after that it is converted to machine code. That is how it works. Then once everything's are done, those are converted, then machine understand that what you are coming to say. So this is just for example, print hello, and I'm calling this print hello function, and it should be print this hello world. So let's see, we are going to run this one. Now you can see hello world. So this is our index.js file. So let's say the name is vary, you can use any name, but the extension is JS, which means JavaScript. So that is how. So we only thinking we are writing and that is execute, but we actually don't know how inside this V8 reading and abstracting, those are the things we actually don't know. So that's the reason I create this video, to understand how this JavaScript engine work and what are the, how we are writing a code, how this V8 will be read and doing the stuff. So I hope you will understand this concept. So if you are not clear anything, just put it a comment. Whatever the things I know, I will tell you, or I will teach you what I know. So my kind request is, if you are not subscribed yet my channel, please go below and like our video and subscribe. Then if you are subscribed, then I have motivate to create some lot of video for you, and that is inspired me to do lot of things. That is the reason I'm saying. So if you are not subscribed yet, go below and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. And then thank you very much for watching my video. Then we'll catch on next video. Then bye.